Let me just say, we just witnessed a legend on this stage. You know, we talk about all of the old guys, Ronnie Butler and Spence and all the rest of them. And we talk about them as legends. But that man, KB, who just performed, in my mind, is responsible for the rebirth of Bahamian music. My hat's off to him. You know, we talk about spending $25 million. That's what we ought to spend 25 million of our Bahamian dollars on. FNMs. We come tonight at a time when our city, our island, is experiencing tremendous struggles, tremendous stress. After 4 downgrades, one for each year of this lousy government, a debt to GDP ratio at a staggering 87.4%. That's up from 55% in 2012, you know. They grew it to 87.4%, spending $2 billion. Not million, $1 billion. And I ask you, FNMs, can you see the evidence of $2 million? I don't see it. I don't see it. They've mismanaged our economy, abused our public finances, and it is clear that they have not delivered the stronger Bahamas that they promised. Instead, they have caused more pain, more misery, and weakened our communities. On this current path, FNMs, we will experience total financial destruction and maybe even devaluation. FNMs, Bahamians, we need change. Mr. Christie, who always talks about second chances, he has had his second chance. And since he and the PLP government are not prepared or capable of adjusting their disastrous habits, we're going to have to just vote them out. Even before Prime Minister Goldfinger flipped us the bird and salted our wounds with the job-killing Freeport Disincentive Act, Grand Bahama was in a tailspin. That act is unhelpful and must be repealed and replaced with a more even-handed Jobs Creation Act. Your FNM will do that. Hurricane Matthew serves as a convenient excuse, but you and I know, Grand Bahamians, that our economy was in a tailspin and in trouble long before that disaster. We certainly feel deeply for those that continue to suffer the effects of those storms, and we empathize with their frustration in the lack of response by this uncaring government. Even as they borrowed $150 million, over $1 million of that, in addition to the over $1 million that they raised right here in Grand Bahama. I ask Shane Gibson, Darvel, Ms. Reckley, where is the money? I think I have an idea where it is, but I ain't ready to talk about that yet. Because some of these people down here in Brown have to deal with some issues. But I ask, where is the help? Anybody home? We must vote them out. The business community has been crying out for relief, but instead, all they got was VAT, more taxes, and now more regulations. Can they not hear our cries? Can they not see our suffering? I tell you, this Progressive Liberal Party, this uncaring government, we Grand Bahamians, we must lead the way, and we must vote them out. FNMs. When Freeport needed its government to relax its grip on our throats, they gripped even tighter, as if trying to kill whatever spirit that we have left. This PLP government must go, if only for our own survival. Grand Bahamians, we must vote them out. The failure of Memories, the Grand Lucayan, and the casino all lie at the feet of this failed government. After 5 years of broken promises, Grand Bahamians are asking, what about us? When are we going to get our chance? When is our government going to go to bat for us? Why hasn't the government used its significant weight to pressure the owners of these properties to reopen and save Bahamian families from complete financial ruin? Does this PLP government truly care? Do they love Grand Bahama?
They don't love you like I love you. Slow down, they don't love you like I love you.
When Bahama was going through its crisis, they were all in, even though they weren't invited. I suppose they had some special interests. I understand some retail interests, some construction interests. But where's the sense of urgency with respect to the hotel properties here on Grand Bahama? Our leader has promised to expose the underhanded, sealed deals. So now they're in full damage control mode, doing their best to spin his words into a twisted perversion of the truth. But no matter what they do, no matter how they try to hide their secret deals, the truth must come out. Norwegian Cruise Lines has announced its intentions to discontinue calls at the Freeport Harbor. And the government has agreed to permit Carnival Cruise Lines to build a private cruise port in East Grand Bahama without detailing any expanded benefits for Bahamians. As a representative for East Grand Bahama, I am certainly happy for the development in our area. But it makes no sense to relocate a cruise port if the Bahamians are going to be effectively locked outside the gate looking in. This is unacceptable. And we will work with Carnival to ensure that there is no loss of opportunity for Bahamians. We will demand transparency. This PLP government cannot be trusted to look out for our interests. And so we're going to have to be vigilant. We're going to have to be engaged to make sure that whatever happens, that we Bahamians benefit first. Bahamians, the FNM is the only viable option to restore the economy and develop new opportunities for Grand Bahama and for the Bahamas. In my constituency, so many Bahamians are feeling the pain and the misery caused by this PLP. Mr. Feaster, the oldest resident in Sweeten Ski, he wanted to see opportunities for his grandchildren and for his community so that they can realize their full potential. But this PLP government, they don't care.
They don't really care about us.
Miss Davis and Miss Reckley and others like them in McLeanstown are hard-working, industrious ladies who only want a fair shake in business and all that they are entitled to as senior citizens in this Commonwealth of the Bahamas. But this PLP doesn't care about them.
They don't really care about us.
William, a vibrant young man from Pelican Point, he wanted access to his Crown land grant, but he can't get no papers. Young people, you want training in trades and education for employment and for entrepreneurial opportunities. And my friends in High Rock and in Freetown, they want new, affordable housing. But this PLP, they don't care about them.
They don't really care about us.
A simple fix to relocate the road to a new landing and jump-off point to Waterkey will help to revitalize that community. But this PLP government, they're insignificant. They don't care about them.
They don't really care about us.
Smiths Point and Maidatown both need to benefit more from the cruise passenger traffic. And taxi drivers, oh, I hear from them almost every day. Taxi drivers, I feel for you. They need to get their fair share of the economic pie. Transportation rules must be reviewed and enforced so that they are not left out of our economic development. But this PLP government, they don't care about taxi drivers.
They don't really care about us.
And that may be because they have some other interests. But we can talk about that later too. The Lucayan communities desperately needs cleanup and renewal, street lighting and parks. But this PLP government, they know nothing about that. My opponent knows nothing about that. The PLP, they don't care about us.
They don't really care about us.
Your member of parliament is aware of all of these challenges and of the opportunities, and I will continue to be your voice in addressing them. Over the last 5 years, as the Member of Parliament for East Grand Bahama, we have had the opportunity to serve the residents of our community. We have assisted individuals and groups with food vouchers, utility assistance, hurricane relief, groceries, water, and roofing materials. We are very proud of helping Grand Bahama's #1 Junkanoo group. Is there any Platinum Knights in the house? And I salute Thomas Curry and his wife Shanna for the work that they do with the young men and women of that Junkanoo group. We could never, ever pay them for the sacrifices that they make. And I tell you, I see it. Groups of young men. If you were to go there right tonight, you will find groups of young men and women sitting down, working, talking about their problems, getting some advice. We cannot pay for the work that they do. And the least we can do as a country is to ensure that people like Thomas Curry, like Huck, like Motorboat, that they have a decent place to work from. And yeah, even Motorboat, even though he's a little confused, but even Motorboat. Make sure that they have a place to work from that is secure, that is safe. And, you know, we talk about giving stipends. They ought to be given a stipend too, because this is a time-consuming thing. You think us politicians have stress? How do you think they operate when they themselves have a family to maintain? They need help. Talk about $25 million. You know what $25 million can do for a Junkanoo group here in Grand Bahama? You know what $25 million can do to the inner cities here in Grand Bahama? Foolishness. Foolishness. We have shepherded the building and repairing of infrastructure, such as the paving of the boat ramps in McLeanstown, basketball courts with lighting and long jump pits, playgrounds and bus shelters. We've supported all of the major heritage festivals, like the upcoming Pelican Point Coconut Fest, which will be held this Easter Monday. And I want to invite all of you who are visiting from overseas, those of you who are here, if you've never been to Coconut Fest, this is the one. Come on down. We'll be happy to have you. Overseas, I've arranged inbound trade missions to our island and participated in outbound missions, promoting Grand Bahama as a preferred investment destination. Some of those missions are beginning to bear fruit, and we hope to launch 2 proposed projects later this year. Your FNM party is on the move. FNMs! Ain't no stopping us now! We're on the move! This PLP government has wrecked our economy. Ask yourselves, are you better off, Grand Bahama? Then this PLP government must go. Under this PLP government, have you done better or worse? Then this PLP government must go. Have you seen your hard-earned assets disappear as a result of PLP misrule and abuse? Then you must vote this government out. Have any of you seen where the over 800, some say $1 billion in value-added tax money has gone? See any evidence of it anywhere? Then you must vote this PLP government out. Come election day, FNMs, you must go to the polls, and you must go early. Make sure there is no skullduggery. Go early and vote this PLP government out. Grand Bahama, your change team, Bakisha in the west, Iram in the center, Frederick in, that's the sweetest one, I believe. I think most of us can enjoy that one. Frederick in Pine Ridge, Michael in Marco. I want him to win for a particular reason, It's a friend of mine who was with us last time. He fooled all of us. I ain't know about you all, but I ain't appreciate that. I don't appreciate that. And so Mike can put something on him. Now, of course, the beast in the east. Yeah, man. We got East Grand Bahama on lock, baby. True story. I got a text while I was sitting there. They showed me some pictures of that other thing is happening down the road. And I promise you, no lie, they scrapping bad. They scrapping. But the interesting text is from somebody you wouldn't expect it from. And he said, boy, one thing in the East, you ain't got to worry about nothing. This fella can't hold a candle to you. Now, I don't want you all to sleep now. We got to go work. But I want to thank East Grand Bahama for your support. You don't know what you mean to me. In those difficult times, when you go to Parliament and you have a bad day, or you have people on your back and you don't know how you're going to help them. When I can go to a place like Freetown, and I can see Pearl and Helen and all of them, and they give me that big hug, and I better say Maylene too. They give me that big hug, and it's all okay. It's all okay. You don't know. But this change team, we understand and see your struggles. We will fix it. We will fix it through education and training.
Yes.
We will fix it through empowerment programs.
Yes.
We will fix it through better health care.
Yes.
We will fix it through effective crime control programs.
Yes.
We will fix it through enhanced local government.
Yes.
FNMs, FNMs, your change team will fix it. With the determined will, commitment of a tested leader, and a team of diverse and talented Bahamians, and with your support, we will fix it. I ask you tonight, East Grand Bahama, to give me another opportunity to serve you, to vote K. Peter Turnquest and the Free National Movement in 2017. Because you all know it's still sweeter with Peter. Good night.
All I do is win.